Hi, everyone. Welcome to a special day that we have today. We're working with D&D Clean It and D&D Build It to talk about increasing your bottom line in regard to selling your homes. Little mini background, my name's Scott Furman, and I'm going to be introducing you to Dan Dillon in a moment, who's become an integral part of our group. As many of you are aware, I've been in the real estate business for almost 42 years, and we do a lot of seller representation. We also represent buyers as well, and we're always looking for innovative ways to help our clients through the process and increase their bottom line. And I'll give you a little background. I met Dan actually many years ago. Actually, he's not going to know. I don't know if he'll remember this, but his wife actually called me, and she's actually the reason that we're working together. They had a property that they were interested in selling, and they contacted me. And years later, I was looking for a new commercial cleaning company to help with our office and some other commercial buildings that we own. And I was referred to D&D as a great prospect for this position. I never could find a company that could satisfy my needs. As many of you might know, I'm a very particular guy about the way that things get done. And I met Dan, and again, it was the second time we had met, and I told him what I was looking to do. And I told him, I said, nobody can satisfy me. And he said, I can. And I said, all right. I said, look, I'll give you a chance. Let's try it. And, you know, he came in and did a phenomenal job. He delivered on everything that he promised he would do, and has been doing so for many, many, many years now. And what happened was, both of our businesses started to expand, and I started to reach out to Dan to help me in preparing properties for the market. We do a lot of pre-home inspections before we put the property on the market, and I would give Dan the inspection report with any of the deficiencies that were found. And he and his company would come in and they would correct whatever needed to be done in the report. And this also then ended up doing, in some cases, cleaning. And he does some very specific cleaning, which he'll tell you about, that is just remarkable. In my mind, it's a state-of-the-art approach. I've never experienced anything like this, because many of the contractors are very unreliable and do not deliver, and cannot deliver in a reasonable time frame. And Dan meets and exceeds all of those every single time. I'd like to, at this point, just kind of turn things over to Dan, and maybe Dan can give you a little background on his company and what they're doing.
Well, thanks, Scott. Great to see you. Happy Tuesday, I believe it is. And thanks for having me. This is exciting. Thanks for spotlighting our business, but I'll give a quick overview in regards to the services that we offer for your clients and your new potential clients. So D&D Clean It was established in 2010. It's the second time around for me. I've been in the business for 27 years, and we primarily service the commercial industry with commercial cleaning services. And we grew that business. We have currently about 200 employees, and we had lots of requests from clients that would ask us to change a light bulb or fix the toilet that's running, or whatever it may be, because we already had access to the buildings and understood the opening and closing procedures associated with the building. We were intimate with the facility. Therefore, our clients kept coming to us for these certain kind of needs, which prompted us to launch a division called D&D Build It. And D&D Build It is, think of a handyman for commercial buildings. So we were able to provide a one throat to choke concept. So one phone call. So it's for clients even like yourself, Scott, that have businesses, they have investment properties, other commercial properties, and then it also branches out to, hey, I have a vacation home, or here's my primary residence, or I have these other rental properties, and so that's how it flourished into the division of D&D Build It, which is an expansion of D&D Clean It, and that's why we're in the space today.
Dan, can you share a little bit with folks? I have to, the only thing I can talk about is by example, and I'll tell you how this started. I guess it was a year ago. Maybe it was February or March of last winter. And I mentioned to Dan that I was planning to get the building, power washed, my office building on Lancaster Avenue in St. David's, power washed in preparation of painting it. And he said, well, we've got something we're doing called soft wash. And he said, it's not power washing, and it's not destructive to the joints and the mortar joints, and water doesn't come flying through all the crevices when they clean it.
Right.
And I figured, what the heck? I mean, he's treated me right so far. I've got to take a chance on this whole thing. So they came out with a bunch of trucks appeared, actually 3 or 4, and hoses. And can you explain to them what this is about, and so that I get this point across?
Yeah, it's my pleasure. So you're always so fascinated by this process, so that's neat. And it's funny because a lot of clients are fascinated by certain things that we're able to perform. So some are fascinated with our world's largest cleaning machine, right, that does tile and grout and carpets and pressure cleaning. And then what you're speaking about is the soft washing process, which is new technology that replaces the old-fashioned power wash. Now, power washing will always have a place, Scott, because of maybe concrete or gum or certain situations. But the majority of the cleaning process can now be done with new technology that is soft, gentler, and safer. That actually provides a better cleaning service, whereas it cleans mold, mildew, algae, lichen, moss, you name it, so that it kills the root of the bacteria that are growing on the exterior of buildings so that they don't come back. So not only does it do a better job, not only is it safer and gentler, but it also gives a longer ROI. So where if you clean with power washing, hot water, whatever it may be, or pre-spraying chemicals or detergents, you're still not killing those microorganisms that live on the exterior of buildings. Therefore, once you get rid of them, it lasts a longer time so that they don't regrow. So it gives you a lot more bang for the buck, and the performance and the time savings and just the overall appearance, the finished product is way nicer. And that's what we're performing for a lot of your clients when listing their home in preparation for sale. And it just changes the entire look of the home and of the structure. So I think that's what you're referring to, that you're all about, and have us spraying this stuff all over Montgomery and Delaware counties and Jersey and everywhere else that you send us. But we thoroughly enjoy investing in new technologies and leading the pack in regards to that. Most cleaning companies can't self-perform, or they don't make the investments in their business with the equipment, machinery, and the training. So that's what really sets us apart, and it enables us to self-perform these activities to give a bigger ROI for the home sale activity.
How quickly, if you could share with people, have you performed for us when we call you and we say, Dan, I've got a property going on the market in Wayne, Villanova, Chadds Ford, King of Prussia. We've had people all over. We had somebody in New Jersey for some work. I mean, how quickly can you typically perform for someone like that?
So naturally, we have a clientele base, including yourself, that and all of your clients, that there's always a schedule or calendar and weather dependent. But when you have the right processes, what you're kind of describing, what I think you enjoy, is how quickly we respond, and that's because we have to have multiple machinery, have to have multiple trained staff and personnel ramped up in order to catch that kind of demand. So that's a priority for us internally of how we structure our business and how we prepare to catch those opportunities. So yes, we do perform a lot quicker because it's not just one guy or one truck, or it's being diversified in order to self-perform these activities. And that's all internal, building a real strong business that's diverse, that can have 4 or 5 strong technicians that understand, that are well trained, that can perform, which gives us bandwidth to be able to perform quickly. And that's what you're insinuating. So being able to deliver quickly is important. Nothing more discouraging, especially for me. I don't like to wait for anything. I know you don't like to wait for anything. and so, you have to be ready to catch, if you will. So instant gratification is the world we live in. And that's what my company focuses on facilitating.
I mean, you've blown us away with how quickly, I joke sometimes with Dan, and I'll say something like, why did it take you so long? And he did it like the next day or two. I mean, some of the times
it might have been sunny outside, Scott. It might have been a perfect opportunity.
I had a property going to settlement, and we sold a property recently, and it sold immediately for $60,000 over the asking price for cash. It was a 2-week settlement. I mean, we really had to scramble to get this together, and there was items left in the house that needed to be disposed of, that needed to be hauled. And quite frankly, I'd never really thought about D&D for that service. And I called up Dan and I said, is this something you can do? And he goes, when do you need it done? It was a Wednesday and the settlement was Friday morning. And I said, like right away. The next day he was there. They hauled everything out of the property, and that was the end of it. And it was a property that he was already familiar with. They had soft washed it. They had fixed vent collars on the roof. They had fixed rotted windowsills. They had soft washed the whole exterior of the home. There was a complete thorough cleaning done to the interior of the home. So there were things that were done, and they were most familiar with this property, and we were able to get it done. And Dan used a term recently that stuck in my mind, and I'm going to ask him to maybe give a little understanding of this. Can you explain how you use the term frictionless?
Well, if you have to babysit your vendor or contractors, I mean, you're the GC yourself, and I mean, you got to be able to say, what is the problem, and can you do it? And it's up to someone like us, our company, to deliver everything that takes in between. So it is what I call frictionless, and that means it's less phone calls to the client. It's less asking, how should I say it? You're hiring someone to do the job, and they should be skilled in all facets of that job. So if you don't possess all those skill sets, well, then it becomes bumpy and it becomes troublesome. And I'm sure anyone watching this live on Facebook or recorded later could relate to always having to shepherd or handhold a vendor through their own job. And I just don't believe in that. I believe if you hire someone, they should be able to take it from cradle to grave and deliver it with a smile. And that's why you hire a professional outfit to complete a task. And so we do pride ourselves, Scott, on what I call a frictionless experience. Get it done quickly, do it right, and do it from A to Z. And that's how you provide good, solid services.
You really help us in so many ways, Dan. The amount of stress you release from this whole process, from my staff to my buyers to my sellers. I've had buyers come back after settlement, and D&D has come back in and corrected things that needed to get done, or there were projects or whatever it would be. We have a home coming on the market now that had a flood in the family room, and half of the paneling in the lower level of the family room was cut up, and there was no floor. They threw out all the carpeting. Dan's guys came in and they rebuilt the room and they put the carpet back in, and it's good to go. So he adds a lot of value to everything that he does. You know, there isn't anything that you do that is not done the right way.
No, that's the only way you get paid, Scott. You have to do your job.
It's just amazing. It's just absolutely amazing.
Well, that's kind of you, but it's because you know, you spoke about the post home ownership of the new owner moving into the house that might need something. Everyone's always looking for a guy. You know, I got a guy, right? And if you really have a guy, then that guy or that company should be able to deliver. The real value add here, and I appreciate all the kudos. It's very kind of you. But what really makes the added value is the combination of what we do together. And that is, you know, someone has a new home or is looking to buy a new home, or they're looking to sell their home and they need to prep it and ready to go to sale. And we touched a little bit on this earlier about soft flashing, for example. So if you're putting a home on the market and you approach that home, if it looks clean, it looks crisp, the roof is clean, and it looks well maintained, you know, that keeps the home inspectors, you know, prying eyes, you know, focused on something other than, oh, you need a new roof because it has moss on it or something. Not so. So, you know, the proactive approach that you bring, the ideology that you bring to your clients in prepping a home is really the facilitator for us, a company like us, to come in and do exactly that, so that it is a frictionless experience both for them and it's a quicker sale, you know, for someone shopping for a home, because you know, they approach this house from the curb and you're looking at these beautiful homes, and when they're dirty, they just don't look care for it. But when you clean them, they look great. And you know, we're only talking about that one particular piece, you know, the soft washing, and clean's very important. The you know, the other activities that we've done, and you touched on a minute ago, is, you know, the construction part, you know, the punch list, the honey-do stuff, the outlets, the baseboards, you know, the appliance broke. We had a small, you know, water leak down in the basement, or, you know, we have a piece of siding hanging off, or whatever it may be. So, you know, those bullet point list items that can just really keep you up at night from a buyer. That's important, and that's where I'm always so focused on that frictionless experience. So, you know, prepping a house, what you do and how you recommend it to your clients. I don't know any other real estate agent or firm that does anything like you do. I mean, you and your group think outside the box, and we're proud to be a part of that. So thank you.
Dan, I can't hear real. Tracy, I'm not hearing things real well.
You did.
I think I'm back. Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine. How about Dan?
I can't hear Dan now.
Hello, Scott.
I can hear Dan.
There you go.
Okay, I think we're back. Okay. All right, great. So what you're describing, and I've heard another term that I love some of your terms, by the way, but is that your secret sauce? Is that what you talked about, the secret sauce? Is it, how do you put all this together? How do you run a business with how many people did you just say? Did you say 200?
Yeah, we have over 200 employees here, team members. Yep.
How many trucks are there?
I don't know. We bought like 5 a couple weeks ago, but yeah, 20, 25 or so that are rovering around the clock.
Right. It's, you know, there's a lot of people that I've worked with over the years that had pieces of what you have, but nobody had the full puzzle. You have it all. You've got all the toys, you've got all the equipment, you've got all the staff, and the people that work with you are very, very talented.
Well, thank you. And that's nice of you. And I am very proud. You know, don't let me take it, you know, all the credit here. Our team members are really like family. I mean, we laugh like family, we hug like family, we fight like family. I mean, you know, it's for the best interest of the business. When we have conflicts internally, I say, guys, that's okay. We can argue, we can disagree, We can have all out, arguments. As long as it's in the best interest for the business is what's the most important thing. The secret sauce is the culture of the business, and that's treating everyone with respect, hiring the best in the industry that you can find, hedging your bets associated with the people that you bring on board that represent our brand. So you just can't put anyone in front of a client. You have to have a skilled person, a well thought out person, people that can problem solve, people that can think on their own 2 feet, people who have the entrepreneurial spirit and are very goal oriented. And that is the culture of the business. And I got to tell you, they feed off one another. I mean, when a job is well done and someone gets recognized for it, it's almost like the other guys are like, oh, well, I got to do something good. And I got to put my mark on the business and on the brand. And that's a spirited culture that's difficult to create. And it takes years to do it. But that is the secret sauce. It's people build businesses, not ideas, people.
Well, it's a pleasure for me to work with you, and I share the same vision that you have. And you've made it you've made it really great for us because it allows me to have the time to really focus on my clients, where before we were involved with a lot of these details. And I have one-stop shopping in regard to getting these properties the way my clients want it, whether it's a buyer or a seller or a landlord. I mean, it's all it's just a wonderful thing to have you, and I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, Dan.
Well, thank you.
I really do.
Together. We have fun too, don't we?
We do have fun.
Right?
We do have fun. We've had all kinds of experiences, from regular cleanups to cleaning up homes that had 2 45-pound tortoises living in them for years. Unbelievable. But I want to thank you, and I want to thank everybody for tuning in today on our Increasing Your Bottom Line, and we hope to do more of these in the future. Everybody be safe, be well. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Scott.
Yeah.
Take care.